So came that early April morning at an air base in Colorado. 40 flying fortresses line the apron. 4,000 men march out for a final inspection. They've trained long and hard for these ships, the 400 men who fly them, and the 3,600 who work to keep them flying. Now the 351st Bombardment Group is ready. By the dawn's early light, it assembles for overseas combat. You're on your way, Joe. This is it. With his staff, Colonel William A. Hatchett, Jr. looks over his 4 squadrons. You feel the old man is proud of you. He finds no fault with you today, nor you with him. You'd fly his wing to hell and gone. Sergeant Philip J. Halls, top turret gunner from Springfield, Missouri. He feels that way. So does his pal Kenny, Sergeant Kenneth L. Halls, ball turret gunner from Perkins, Oklahoma. Related? No. They think they might have been several generations ago back in Germany, but now, just 2 guys with the same uncle, Sam. Meet their pilot, Lieutenant Theodore Argyropoulos of Redding, California. Argy's brother is in the Air Corps, too. Their dad was born in Greece. Yes, the Greeks have a word for it. Fight. Their bombardier, Lieutenant Daniel F. Stevens of Chicago. He can bat 1,000 with a Norton bomb sight. Sergeant Paul J. Posty, ball turret gunner. His dad came from Italy. Paul was formerly a pastry cook. He's got 1 brother in the Navy. Another, a Marine, missing in action. Here's Sergeant Tim Tutchin, tail gunner from Mariana Lake, New Mexico. On the reservation, they named him Aki. That means boy in Navajo. Uncle Sam's boy, too. A few last-minute instructions, and we're off. The compass points northeast. Take another look down there. That's your part of the earth. Out of that desert, those mountains, those fields has grown the American way of life. What you're fighting for. You remember the Colonel's quiet words? Men, the enemy has asked for it. Let him have it. Seek no quarter, nor give any beyond reason. Be firm, be just, and Godspeed you all. 8.5 hours out of Newfoundland, another sunrise. It's rising out of the red of battle, this sun. But 40 more B17s, 3 minutes apart, have roared across the Atlantic night. The Irish coast looks up to say, top of the morning. And a lake in the Ulster Highlands gives the navigator a checkpoint. Off the Scottish coast, Dernya Craig is a signal for right rudder south, across the English Midlands. Pilots are impatient with the lack of sleep. Head up, boy. Pour on the coal. Let's get there. Yes, it must have been a lot different when the wings carried swastikas instead of these big white stars. Don't worry, folks. We're dropping nothing today, just our hats in the ring. Hello, Missy. We brought something for you and brother. Chewing gum and chocolate bars. And there's a crate of oranges in the ball turret. Ah, there, Grandpa. We'll be seeing you for a glass of that. And there's the base. 400 acres of dispersal areas. The RAF is on hand to welcome us. Set her down, Colonel. Set her down. The 351st becomes part of the 8th Air Force. We've reached the battlefront. The combat crews move into English barracks. They give them those simple, quiet names for which Americans are famous. Later, the ground crews arrive. Hiya, Gus. Great boat trip, huh? Only 7 days and without any escort, too, See any submarines? Oh, 100 of them, huh? Well, I guess you ought to know, Gus. They tell me you was hanging over the rail all the way. Next day, big doings. Class A uniform. Shine those buttons. His Royal Highness the Duke of Gloucester, brother to the King of England, drops in and is greeted by the old man. What's up? The Sergeant Major says the RAF is handing over the field to us.
On behalf of the Air Ministry, I hand over this aerodrome complete with buildings and equipment for your safekeeping.
It gives me great pleasure to accept this station on behalf of the United States Army Air Forces.
Okay, RAF. If we can fit your boots, we'll walk it straight, brother. Another surprise visitor. General Arnold himself doing a world inspection flight. He tells you you've got a tough assignment. This is one head man who knows and doesn't kid you. We have the privilege to meet General Aker, Commanding General, 8th Air Force.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah, glad to see you. How are you coming to this camera training film of yours?
Well, it's a little early to tell yet, sir, but we're turning a camera on everything and everybody.
Well, I know what General Arnold had in mind in having you make this gunnery picture. Captain Gable, our gunners are already the best in the business. But if they were only 10% better, it'd cost the Germans another 100 fighters a month.
So fire away, gunners. Plenty more practice before that first mission. His sleeve is a forked wolf. Track him. If you don't, he might get you, and you might have to bail out. Over the channel, perhaps. But if you do, a Spitfire of the Air Sea Rescue Service is bound to spot you. A stubborn, tough gang, this outfit. They'll go after you any time, any place. They picked up men 3 miles off the French coast with Heine defense batteries screaming, "No, you don't." Their answer is always, "Sorry, old boy, we will." You work on your identification of aircraft. Over here, it's with a real McCoy, such as this captured Ju-88. There it is, everything up forward, punched under the nose. But the Canadian pilot says it's a sweet flying ship. Yes, sir, a dangerous all-purpose aircraft. Or the Heinkel 111K. Here, he's a bad hombre, but he makes good airplanes, gentlemen. These will be a happy sight in days to come. Your fighter escort. That big barrel nose job, circled in white. Your own American P-47, the Thunderbolt, side by side with a graceful spit. These are what you don't shoot at. You hear daily lectures on security given by Major Scott, your Scotch-born intelligence officer.
Let's stop kidding ourselves. This flying field is only 20 minutes from the battlefront. The dumb spies have all been shot. The smart ones are still living. And you may run into one of them tonight at the Red Lion pub.
And if you go to the pub,
Remember, 1 pound is not $1, but $4. And that equals 20 shillings. 1 shilling equals 12 pennies, which equals 20 cents. 1 English penny equals 2 American pennies. And don't throw your pennies around.
Major, seems to me the paper in this pound is not very durable.
What do you mean, durable? Laugh at this one for 20 years.
What is it, Fred? What is it? One of those bitter lessons you learn in training. Flying close formation in rough air at low altitude is no good, gentlemen. Save that for high altitude, when you're headed for the target. Next morning, we crawl out of the sack to find Britishers on the field again. Big Halifax bombers that had blasted Berlin during the night. Their own field was closed in by weather, so they dropped in on us for breakfast. Say, Percy, how's the yak-yak over there? Rough? Oh, not half bad, Yank. Well, cheerio, lads. Thanks for the ham and eggs. So long, Percy, old boy. We'll be finding out for ourselves one of these days. That day arrives. The order comes over the teletype. The communications clerk carries it to Colonel Milton, operations officer. To Colonel Burns, deputy commander. The old man is on the phone. Then in the briefing room.
I'm summarizing. Remember your route in to this DR point where you go northeast to avoid this black area. P-47s will escort you to about this point on the way in, and Spit 9s will meet you about here on the way out and escort you all the way home.
And now the weather officer. Weather's plenty important.
You'll probably have to go over and above the altitude that you're scheduled to fly, 23,000 feet. From the IP to the target, the winds will be very strong tailwinds, and your ground speed should be well about 260 miles an hour. The visibility is good everywhere east of that cold front, and the temperature at the target should be comparatively warm, minus 25 degrees centigrade.
Today is your baptism of fire. If Lieutenant Argyropoulos ever felt responsibility, he feels it now. In the armament shop, his crew is picking up their guns.
Now remember, fellas, don't let them get too close trying for a sure kill. Your main job is to bring these airplanes back. You got plenty of ammunition. Keep them out there at long range.
Oh, we know. They've given you an easy hop. Only 3.5 hours in and out. What they call a milk run. But you'll remember this first mission. You don't admit it now. You wouldn't show it for the world. But later you find out everybody else felt the same way you did. Flash order from Wing headquarters. Wing wants 3 more ships added to the high group. 3 more bomb bays have to be loaded. Got to step on it. Positions in the formation change. This doesn't concern Sergeants Kenny and Phil Hulls. Gunners think only of smooth-working guns and plenty of ammunition. Ammunition's cheap. 6 cents worth of 50 caliber wanged into the cockpit of a Messerschmitt. That's what will bring you home. What did that weatherman say? 30 below over the target? Electrically heated suits. The Air Corps dresses for every occasion. Yes, everything has to be right, brother. Check everything. Every strap tight. Every buckle set. Everything understood. You get into your flak suit. Mighty heavy material, but it wears well, the man says. A thermos of hot coffee. The joker who brings it says it'll help keep you awake. Art straps on his throat mic. Over this intercom system, he'll be able to talk to every man in the ship. And they can talk to him. They'll be talking for keeps today. Well, that flare from the tower ought to be along any minute now. There it is. Start engines. The Colonel's already been on missions with seasoned outfits. Today, he leads you on your first. Second flare. Start taxi. Punch wing to wing at the start of the runway. Easy now, slow. Cut somebody's tail off. Rev her up and ride those brakes hard, Red. Roger. You keep your eye on the tower. Take off. The old man leans full on his throttle. At 15-second intervals, you follow. Over the feet. You're on your way. The rest of the outfit sits down to wait.
Go ahead, Mike. Your deal. Come on, I cut.
Oh, okay. What time are they due back, do you know?
Scotty said around 5:20.
Gosh. I sure hope they all...
Hey, how many are you dealing? I'm in.
Oh, sorry.
We know, Mike. Everybody's sweating them out.
You mean what's coming over those trees, Major? No, that's not them. Just a flock of crows.
I was a truck driver on Canal Street, but I never felt like this before.
I ride the ambulances. I gotta be casual. You know, carefree and easy, like the doc.
Listen, wise guys, talk to us. The ground crew for each ship. We'll tell you how to feel.
Okay, here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14. That's the stuff. 17, 18, 19, 20. Here's the old man and Jenny. Yeah, that's your ship, Corporal. You can uncross those fingers now. 627. That's Joe Frischholz. A little hot, Joe, but you're a hot pilot. Here's Gable in 742. Chalk him up. Here's old Zip in 879. He's got number 4 prop feather, too. Here's 953 with number 2 out. And look, Jim couldn't get his Bombay doors closed either. Oh, the old OK sign, huh, Sergeant? Must have laid him right on the nose. Yeah, Oldie says he saw him land right on the MPI. Nice bombing, Steve. That's from me, Pete Provenzale, your navigator. Okay, Phil, chalk up number 1. Nice driving, Captain Arch. You sure know your evasive action. Uh-oh, Harry caught something. A 20 millimeter right across his radio. Arch looks at a hole in the horizontal stabilizer. Nothing at all. Hi, Pete. Come on, let's stow these guns and get to interrogation. Yeah, you're feeling pretty cocky. Nobody blames you. It's great to get that first one over with. But this one was pretty easy, remember? You got a lot more to go. Longer ones, tougher ones. Take it easy, boys. Take it easy. Back from the raid comes Major Louis Nowak, Group Surgeon. Doc flew this first mission to study the physical reactions of men in combat. He didn't have to go, but that's the kind of a doc he is. And today, on the walls of the officers' mess, begins the chronological record of the group's success. Coutray, a German fighter base in Belgium. Annie doesn't live there anymore. In the meantime, we find Kenny and Phil cleaning their guns in front of the armament shop.
Hello, Captain. Hello, fellas. Well, how was it?
You know, Captain, I don't think those Germans like us.
Are you ready to go again? Sure. Gotta get this thing over. Did you learn anything you didn't know before?
Plenty. At home, they told us the Jerry's made most of their attacks on the tail. Today, most of them are on the nose.
Yeah. Most of the time I had my turret pointed at 12 o'clock. I must have fired 1,000 rounds.
Let's go all these guns, Ken. All set?
Yes, check those guns. You had plenty more use for them the next 2 weeks. Emden, Kiel, Wilhelmshaven, St. Nazaire, Bremen. And every swastika stands for a Hun pilot that asked for it and got it. Came days when enemy targets were hidden by weather. So the more energetic of you found relaxation in peaceful combat. While the more studious men discussed tactical charts and maps, or something.
Could you give me a pound of 10 on that?
But the more cultured of the group, like Kenny and Phil, went into the nearby villages to visit the quaint old cathedrals, churches and shops in the English countryside surrounding us. Or on days when they were confined near the base, the old cathedrals and shops would come out to see them. This little shop wants to go home. Meanwhile, back at the kitchen, we find a very unhappy and angry man.
Hello, Sergeant Posty.
Hello, Captain Gable.
What's this? I thought you were a ball turret gunner.
I thought so too, sir, but I've been grounded.
Oh, your pants crept up on you, huh?
Yes, sir. They found I was chef at the Brown Derby in Hollywood, and now they have me in the mess making a cake tonight for the officers' party.
Nothing you can do about getting back into combat?
I don't think so, Captain.
Well, Sergeant, remember this. There are 2 kinds of cake. One of them's good, and the other one, I'll be seeing.
But gals or parties, you're still fighting a war. And you're getting mighty good at it. Nobody knows it better than the sucker who started it. Little Adolf.
Well, Sergeant Posting, back into combat, huh?
Yes, sir.
How'd you manage it?
Well, sir, you know what you said. There are 2 kinds of cake.
So Posty's back in the air with you. You're blowing factories and power plants 1,000 feet in the air.
Okay, how about you, Winchester?
Well, I have a little excitement.
What happened?
I have a little present here for you.
What's that, black?
Came in the side of the radio room and hit the buckle on my parachute. Fell on the floor.
Well, who has this plane? Phil. What time was that?
It was about $1,600.
$1,600. Where did it happen?
You know, that was happened.
It's right here, just east of Boston.
East of Boston.
That's right. We'll confirm that.
I saw it. I confirmed it. After he fired it, came down and passed underneath her left wing and exploded right underneath it.
Nobody should bail out.
And when you hand out punishment like this, you've got to take some, too. The day you got back from over Villacoublay, just outside of Paris, was plenty rugged. Signal flares. That means wounded aboard. What's tough about it was, you had to bring your bombs back. You couldn't drop them. When you reached a target, you found it closed over by weather. That's an order when you're flying over France. No indiscriminate bombing. Just German installations. Colonel Milton, who led the raid, is a tired, sick guy this day, and nobody blames him. He had to fight his way 3 hours in, 3 hours out, under constant attack by over 200 Messerschmitts and Focke-Wulfs. He lost men, he lost ships, and couldn't strike his blow. That's rough. Here's Peter Provenzale. Remember him? Arge's navigator? Today he got a 20 millimeter through the leg. Control cable shot in two, but some wounded gunner wouldn't quit. He tied them together.